December, the 254th day of 2020. There are 112 days left in the year. Make each and every day count. Each day is a gift. And we've got the team here, and happy to be up and at 'em on this Thursday morning, the day before September 11th. Things seem oddly loud to anyone else again all of a sudden. The balance was so good the first few days of the week. Now they're off again. Maybe it's when Dick's picture is on. Mm-hmm. When we can actually see him, the sound goes bad. I'm not sure, but as long as it's okay for our listeners tuned in to News Talk 760 WJR and those folks who are following us on YouTube and any other way, other ways they're following us. My hat, it's a hat Thursday. My hat appears to be, I don't know, bent or something. I can't get it to be straight. I don't know that I've ever actually worn this hat before. Still has the tag on the back of it.
Mine too.
Mine is a Fuente Opus X hat, signed on the bill here. I'm sure you can't see. Oh, when I look up, I can see there's a tag inside the hat. Anyway, it's signed by Carlito Fuentes.
Nice.
Fuente.
I like that hat.
The Fuente family, Carlito.
Was he the old 66?
No.
Oh.
No, but that's a good one, though. That's a good one. And Dick, well, I should say, we have Dick Hafner, our news director. Thank you, Dick. And he has a Detroit Lion on his hat as we get ready for the Lions.
I forgot this was special cap day. I would have worn a special cap instead of my usual.
Special. We get the Lions Sunday.
Hey, the Lions are coming up. Absolutely. Here we go.
That's a good thing. Dana Clark is here checking traffic and weather, and I can't make out what is on
my hat is a Colorado Avalanche NHL team.
I got you.
With the tag on, too.
With the tag still on. All right.
Tag on.
So that's good. And Dave Kingpin Rieger, did we tell Dave it was
He always wears a hat.
Okay.
So he's safe, but he has the Lions on, too. I like that Lions hat.
Put your head down just a little, Dave, so we can.
That's a fancy one.
Yeah, that is very fancy.
Yeah,
Lions.
Happy opening to NFL season tonight.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, tonight. Okay.
Yes.
Well, that's right. Thursday night football.
Texans at Chiefs. Go Texans.
There's a game I probably won't watch. But
yeah. Didn't know about it.
I may. I don't know. I love to watch football, so I might have been hungry for
Kansas City will be allowing some fans in the stadium for tonight's game.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yes.
Spread out, socially distanced. Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. That's going to look weird. We haven't seen fans in
Dave,
the
your team plays the Titans on Sunday.
Monday night. Second game Monday night.
Oh, it's the Monday night game.
Two Monday night.
Two games. Monday night games.
Yeah, it's Giants Steelers, the early one, and then the Titans and the Broncos for the late one.
Will there always be two Monday nights in a shortened season?
No, they always do that for this isn't a shortened season.
It isn't?
No, it's just they just didn't have any preseason games.
Oh, that's what it was.
So this started on time, and hopefully they have a full season.
Yeah. That'll be interesting to see what happens on that. It is 5:42 on this Thursday morning at WJR.
This report is sponsored by the National Crime Prevention Council and the USPTO.
My friend Teddy almost set his house on fire. He used a counterfeit, a fake wall charger. He had to go to the hospital.
Real products are tested for safety.
Visit ncpc.org/go4real. Brought to you by NCPC and the USPTO.
And our WJR Traffic and Weather first with Dana Clark.
Traffic first sponsored by AARP Michigan. ARP is fighting to lift the voices of African American women across Michigan and holding a virtual event called My Sisters and Friends. Conversations that count on September 17th. Help the ARP create a healthy and wealthy agenda for women over 50 on the 17th. RSVP at aarp.org/MI. Earlier accident along 75 northbound at 9 Mile. That collision is clear. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by North Bloomfield Properties. If you're looking for a place to call home, let North Bloomfield Properties find the best place for you and your family. They also provide pre-screen quality tenants to their property owners. They love to match good people to good homes. Contact them today, northbloomfield.com.
Well, the fog's slowing a roll in some spots. Patchy areas of fog this morning with clouds, some sun. Then as we go through the day, I think mostly cloudy, 69 degrees will do it. It's below average by just over half a dozen degrees. Now tonight we'll get some clearing, 54. Some areas down into the upper 40s to the north. Partial clouds tomorrow, 70 degrees. The weekend looks dry and mild, mid-upper 70s. Royal Weather Channel. I'm meteorologist Ray Staging on News Talk 760 WJR.
So nice to have our regulars here. Oh, you, along with Clay Jerky. Clay, it is not hump day. That was yesterday. But I appreciate the effort. Russ Jennings and Virginia Tate and Ann Pitzker, Albertson, Mike Richardson, Don Kruger, Patrick Mendes, Ron Becker, and all the rest of the team that's the same team as our listeners, as the same team as our on-air staff. And lots going on. Part of the team is Rush Limbaugh, usually with us from noon till 3 on WJR, and he stops by every morning at about this time. Right now, this time is 5:44. Rush?
My friends, for the first time, atheists have become the largest religious group in America, the religion of no religion. The number of Americans who profess no belief in God has skyrocketed, increasing 266% over the last 30 years. Now, almost a quarter of the population is atheist. Atheists outnumber Catholics and evangelicals, and mainstream Protestant churches have declined 62% since 1982. A lot of numbers in this update. Is anybody surprised by this? Liberal Democrats have been waging a war on faith since the 1960s, and their victories are shattering our society. You can see signs of the new godlessness everywhere. The murder rates in blue cities, the crimes against children, the disintegration of the traditional family. For heaven's sake, look at 1 million abortions in America every year, and liberals celebrating abortion up to the moment of birth and after. The same survey revealed something else. A happiness recession. Not a coincidence. It turns out the non-religious, and you non-religious people know who you are, 40% less likely to say they're happy, very happy, compared to the religious. Well, amen to that. The left is as wrong about God as they are about everything else. And that's saying something.
Rush Limbaugh, noon to 3 today, right here on WJR. Leave it to Rush. Talk about atheists and say, thank God for that. Good slip in there. We went on an adventure last night. We don't go out very much, but occasionally. For 6 months, we've been so good, and now it's driving us crazy. So now we've gone out a few times. So I don't know. It's just the way it is, I guess.
Costco? Did you go to Costco?
No. Have I? Yeah, I have been to Costco once now, haven't I? Or haven't I? Still haven't been to Costco. I don't remember if I've been to Costco.
You didn't go then.
Once in the 6 months or whatever. But I did go. We went down to Vincent's or Vincente's, whatever it is, on Library Street, a Cuban restaurant. We spoke to the mom, Maria. Oh, you have been there?
Delicious.
Very good food. We spoke to the mom, Maria. But we spoke to her in the morning when we called in to see if we could make a reservation to sit outside. And she was gone by the time we got there because that would have been a long day. And Vincent isn't there very often, I guess. So we didn't get to say hi to any of the folks. But we did have a great time. And what was really cool was it was right next to Moot's Pizzeria and Bar. Moot's, which we've had on Opportunity Detroit. And Tony Sacco, the owner of Moot's, is from Monroe. So I went over to see him. He was sitting outside smoking a cigar, which is perfect that I have my Fuente cap on this morning to retell the story. But his business card is a pizza.
Oh, I love it.
Isn't that great?
Very clever.
Yeah. Moots.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it was very nice. And then he said, hey, you got a guy coming up that remembers you from your days in Toledo. I said, well, who's coming up? And it was Gary Jacob, who has the loaded chicken in Toledo. The loaded chicken. So it was good to see Gary Jacob, who I have not seen in years, but he was kind enough to tell Sophie and Adam, who were there with Kim and I, that I was a big deal. Your dad was a big deal in Toledo, way, way, way before they were born, that I was working in Toledo. So that was kind of fun. That was my adventure. Anyone else have an adventure yesterday or last night?
No, not really.
Nothing?
Nothing.
No.
Nada.
You're hearing the Paul W. Smith Show. News Talk 760 WJR.
Well, the team is here. Dick Hafner, Dana Clark, Dave Kingpin Rieger, back at the Golden Tower, the Fisher Building, the one and only, what's his name? And anyone get that? Brian Morton.
Morton.
How soon we forget. But anyway, and Kim was here because she dropped off coffee and kissed me. So she was here. She's been up longer than me, as is often the case. And we're all here with our WJR listeners online and on 760 on the AM dial. Lots going on. You know how a lot of us, I haven't, but a lot of detroiters depend on Canada for their prescriptions. I mean, certainly the newspapers have the ads and they show the different prescription prices, and they're cheaper in Canada. We know that. Well, now Michigan is on the list of a place for some cheaper things to buy.
Really?
Did anyone else see the headline yesterday? Ohioans find pot cheaper in Michigan.
Really?
Yep. Who knew? Who knew? Many head north where medical marijuana's a steal. Now, there's recreational available now, lots of places. So I don't know what is the significance of the medical marijuana compared to just the regular recreational marijuana, since you can buy it without a prescription now. And by the way, that's a joke. We used to have a kid who, maybe this is why I got fired. I can picture a kid at the radio station standing by one of the copy machines right outside my studio saying, "Mr. Smith, do you have any medical issues that would mean that you need medical marijuana? I can get you a card." I went, "What?" And I realized it was maybe the first time ever I've been solicited an, at that time, illegal drug at work. But anyway, he's been long gone. That was a few years ago. And the people that had medical marijuana cards or doled them out could do it to anybody. I mean, it was like, no, I don't, but thanks for asking. But anyway, now people are
buying
coming here.
Marijuana without a prescription. Stop the presses.
Yeah.
Brian says you pay a lower tax on medical marijuana than on recreational.
Oh, a lower tax. But in Michigan, it's even cheaper. For whatever reason, in Ohio, there might be, it says in Ohio, you're being charged double the prices you pay in Michigan. And that might be the taxes or whatever. It's like when you would go to not that you would, but if you would go across the river to Windsor to buy a Cuban cigar, they have a death tax on that cigar. It makes it really very, very expensive.
So let's see. Michigan people drive to North Carolina to buy cheap cigarettes. North Carolina and Ohio drive to Michigan to get cheap pot.
It all works out, Dick.
So it all works out.
Yeah.
In the wash, it all works out.
out.
And while they're there in the Carolinas, they're buying cheap furniture, too.
Yes, that's what I thought he was going to say.
That's what I thought he was going to say.
Yeah.
I remember growing up, and when people were having a wedding in Monroe, people would drive to Chicago to get the booze for the wedding. Because the booze could go on sale and be, reduced prices, which apparently you could not do in Michigan because of the Michigan Liquor Control Commission or something. These are just things that I barely remember from growing up. Costco.
Thomasville will get into the marijuana business.
Thomasville. This is a fine marijuana. Handcrafted in the old traditional Thomasville way. I did think by now that one of the big cigarette companies would be in the marijuana business. You know, remember we heard that they were, I don't know, what do you call it, trademarking or something, special marijuana names that they thought would be important to have once they got into the business and bought out people that are growing it and start trafficking in it. But I haven't heard anything more about it. Costco is selling an apple crumb cheesecake made by the famous New York City bakery Junior's. I lived in New York City. I was not familiar with this bakery. Maybe they weren't there or not yet famous when I lived in New York, but Junior's.
There are too many cheesecakes in New York.
Yeah, right. There's so many great cheesecakes from so many different places. They must be pretty good to become known as, a great bakery. But anyway, Costco is proof that bigger is better. When it comes to their baked goods, they don't skimp on size or flavor. So just in time for fall, they've brought back its massive pumpkin pies and some newer treats like the 3-pound apple crumb cheesecake.
Oh, that's what I need.
That's what anybody needs. Everybody needs that right next to the hole in the head that they also that they need. Eggnog and peppermint ice cream is already out on the shelves at Walmart. I don't remember a run on this, but eggnog and peppermint ice cream.
Oh, yeah. I've not had eggnog
at
ice cream.
Walmart.
I don't know.
I was going to say I don't think I have, but I must have along the way. And you
All
might
the
have
things that Ryan hasn't had for 2 years.
Yeah, he lost over 100 pounds, and that's the way you do it. You cut stuff like that out that you don't really need. It's not a question of need. It's a question of want anymore. Certain things you want, certain things you need. You have to draw the line there somewhere. The Tiger King star Joe Exotic has made another plea to the president to pardon him. You think that'll ever happen? President pardoning?
Never know.
Joe Exotic?
Maybe.
Who knows?
If he likes him, he will. If he doesn't like him,
well, he knows how to write to our current president. He suggests, asks, begs that the president, quote, be my hero.
Right.
Be my hero. Pardon me.
It might work. Did you hear that Carol Baskin is on Dancing with the Stars?
Yeah. Brian had a great name for Dancing with the Stars many years ago when it first came out, and I'd say, well, who are the stars? And they'd list who the stars were, and he would say it's like Dancing Without Stars or something. I mean, he had the Brian touch on that. Like, Brian, what did you used to say? Dancing where the stars, dancing no stars, whatever it was. And I mean, let's face it, Carol Baskin as one of the stars. Now, of course, they can have an entire season with just Kardashians.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Now that they have all that time available.
Oh, man.
He said Dancing with the Used to Be Stars.
Yeah, that's it. Dancing with the Used to Be Stars. And you're right, Dick. It could be the Kardashians doing that. But what were they on? E? What channel were they on?
Yes.
What network? E. Can you imagine the E employee, the management at E looking at each other now and going, "What the heck are we going to do for 20 hours a day if we don't have the Kardashians anymore?"
Right.
They're going to have to work.
Nelly is one of the stars that are dancing. Nelly was a star 30 years ago.
Nelly, oh my God! All right.
I
think I heard the traffic sounder a moment ago. 5:57. So we're going to do that here on WJR.
This report is sponsored by Fresh Time Market.
It's no surprise that healthy living begins with what we eat. Stop by Fresh Time Market for large red, green, or black seedless grapes, 99 cents a pound. Now through September 15th, you can trust Fresh Time to bring you real food at real affordable prices.
And we've got our WJR traffic and weather first at 5:57. And Dana Clark.
Good start this Friday Eve. Just looking at upcoming construction that's going to kick off on Friday. 94 eastbound between 75 and 696. Project that's been happening every weekend for the past month. At 9 p.m., all lanes will shut down until 5 a.m. on Monday. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Clarkston Window and Door. Over 31 years in business, over 450 combined years of experience installing windows. Trust a specialist at Clarkston Window and Door. Act now to take advantage of 31% off install windows, doors, and garage doors. 248-338-6781 or clarkstonwindow.com. Cloudy and cool start on this Thursday. We won't see much in the way of sunshine. We'll see some fog this morning, then just clouds. A high of 69 tonight. Cloudy early, clearing late, low 54 for Friday, kicking off the weekend. Some clouds, some sun, and a high of 70. Fog, 64 degrees. I'm Dana Clark, WJR News with Dick Hafner in 2 minutes.
Colorado Avalanche hat. You got a lot of guts wearing that in Detroit.
I know. I had this hat for probably, 20 years. Oh, no. Yes. I think Trevor bought this hat for me. I don't know why. I don't know why we have this hat, but we have a lot of hats.
Yeah. Oh, it's cool. I mean,
everywhere.
That was just, that was the big rivalry back in the day.
Oh, was it?
That was
why did he buy
the big fight that happened at the Joe. Maybe that everybody still relives was between the Avalanche and the Red Wings.
Maybe he was trying to get me jacked up or something. I don't know. Here, dear, wear this.
That was the big. That's Patrick Waugh. That's Claude Lemieux. That's Joe Sakic. That was the big fight. That was Avalanche and Red Wings.
Oh,
that everybody still relives. Darren McCarty. That was the big fight, that they had, and that was the Colorado Avalanche. So
has Trevor paid your life insurance up lately? Brian says.
I'm telling you.
I hope so. I better check on that.
That is.
Don't wear this outside.
Shoot.
Who knew? Who knew?
Well, I'm sure. Yeah, exactly.
I will retire this after this broadcast.
Yeah, don't let Darren see it. That's for sure.
That's funny.
Right? What? Oh, I came in late, so it's too bad. I'm going to be punished. I don't need to know what you were talking about. I'm the one who left.
We were talking about Dana wearing the Colorado Avalanche hat, which is taking her life into her own hands, wearing that in Detroit. Because if you remember, the big fight back in the day was between the Avalanche and the Red Wings at the Joe during it was like 97, 98 when they were on their Stanley Cup run. So
was all right. Well, I'm not going to walk down that path.
That's why I haven't worn it out in public.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
It's my inside.
No one will see it on the radio here, of course, on social media with all of our friends on social media that join us like this. We appreciate it. Hey, I did go to Costco.
Okay.
Kim reminded me, and I thought I had, and I went for paper towels and came home with everything but paper towels. I remember talking about the fact they didn't have paper towels.
Really?
Yeah, this was a while ago, and I don't know if they've gotten all. Well, it wasn't that long ago, actually. Remember, I said I took some paper towels out of some cart because there were like 12 cases of water and a whole bunch of stuff, and I thought it was somebody putting stuff on the shelves, and it was actually a shopper. She goes, "Hey, those are my paper towels." I went, "Oh, I'm sorry. I thought this was like,
community."
Anyway, so I thought it was like some, how you see people pushing stuff around, putting things back. Because I don't know why, but people have a tendency at all stores, but especially Costco, they get something because they feel they really need it. And then halfway through their travels, they decide, I don't really need 47 boxes of Uncle Ben's rice. I don't really need that. So then they just set it down on another. Amongst clothing or other stuff, and you go, why is the Uncle Ben's rice over here? Anyway,
Paul, what's the story behind your love for Costco? I know that back a couple months back when I filled in, you were talking about how you missed going to Costco.
Oh, I do. It's like, for me, it's like a social experience. It's like it's beyond shopping. I don't know what it is. It's some kind of out of body experience. It used to be, you'd never know who you'd run into at Costco. And it was always great fun. I remember Daron Levin, the great journalist. I remember, just various corporate executives who were dressed down in jeans and maybe had a baseball hat on. And the funniest thing is people would come and report to me, "Hey, Paul, you might want to know that so-and-so is over in aisle 7, or whatever the aisle. I don't know if they even number the aisles, whatever. Over by the batteries," which was a favorite place for me. We have batteries coming out of our ears. It's a good thing those batteries have expiration dates that are 10 or 15 years out, because it's going to take us that long to use all the batteries. But speaking of shopping, apparently when we were down at the Vincent's or Vincente's, if depending on how you want to say it, the Cuban restaurant on Library Street that you guys have been to, I don't think Dave has been, but Dick has been, and Dana has been, and now Dave can't wait to go. Apparently the presidential nominee Joe Biden was near there.
Really?
Because he, among other things, he went to the 313 store and was, as he would put it, shopping American. He was wearing a posed for pictures, picked up a handful of shirts that read "Detroit made me," that he said he was getting for his grandchildren.
Very smart. Very cool, Uncle
So
Joe.
he was at the 313 store.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a joke in there, but it's a too easy joke. So
Go ahead.
No, I'm not going to use it. No.
No, you're going to put it in your pocket?
When asked to name his grandchildren, he said, "Let me see, Sleepy, Grumpy."
Nice.
Yeah. So anyway, see, I told you, it was just too easy.
That's all right.
When we were up at watching Jamie at the Michigan Open in Traverse City at the beautiful Grand Traverse Resort and Spa, the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile was there.
Oh.
Now the question is, and this may be the case, how many Wienermobiles are there? There must be more than one. Maybe not. Maybe that guy who runs that thing is all over the place. But the Oscar Mayer
right
Wienermobile.
now, I think they have 6 that are active.
Oh, you're kidding. I see. I'm so
I
disillusioned.
did a story on this a couple weeks ago.
Oh, you did? I'm so disillusioned. I always see one thing and think, look, I've seen the, not one of 6 Oscar Mayer. How many Goodyear blimps?
It's like there's a whole bunch.
Oh, man. Well, anyway, it's at Yellowstone National
The Paul
Park.
W. Smith Show, News Talk 760, WJR.
Good Thursday morning to you. It's the 10th of September, the 254th day of 2020. There are 112 days left in the year. Make each and every day count. Each day is a gift. We've got the team together. Dick Hafner is here after giving us the news the way it was meant to be presented as news. Thank you, Richard, for that. Dana Clark, traffic, weather, opinions, thoughts, comments on the passing scene. Dana Clark, thank you for your fine work. Brian Morton is there at the Golden Tower of the Fisher Building, pressing all the buttons, pushing all the switches. There at the Golden Tower of the Fisher Building as well. And in our old studio, Dave Kingpin Rieger, the Kingpin, is there. And he's here and there. He's everywhere. He's in for Ann Thomas, who is taking care of Brian, her son's wedding plans. And like everybody who is having a wedding these days, those plans have changed drastically. And many people have sent out cards saying, we're going to have the family together for the wedding, but don't worry, we're going to have a party with the rest of you down the road. So we should find a building.
Sure.
We should find a building, buy it, and call it Down the Road.
Right.
For all of your parties that you've had to delay because of COVID-19.
Just save some money and, call it a day.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So anyway, and so Dave is in, and Kim is out and about throwing information to me along the way, and I appreciate it. And she's the one who reminded me that I did, in fact, go to Costco. I'd forgotten. There's so much stuff there. Yesterday, I doubt Lyra is the first name I can remember. Remember I gave Ed Sheeran's daughter's name? It was a bizarre. It was like Lyra, Antarctica,
Mm-hmm.
Seaborn, Shirin,
Mm-hmm.
or something like that. There are the most
Linda.
popular.
I said Linda. Was that included in the list of names?
No.
No, I think it was Lyra, like in lyrical, or as in the monetary lira. Popular baby names 2019. Pretty much the same as 2018. Anybody know what the most popular male and female names for babies were in the last year or so? I'm surprised at one of them. I'm surprised at the boys' most popular.
Wasn't the girl's name Emma?
Olivia.
Olivia
was the girls, and Liam was the boys. Liam.
Liam.
I have a certain set of skills.
Right.
You remember that?
Yes.
That's a nice name.
Let's see here. Family administration. Nearby, however, has been the reigning champion, Emma, who took the top spot as the most popular name of the decade for girls. And Noah was the second most popular name of 2019 for boys, but also the number one name for most popular of the decade. So there'll be a lot of Emmas and Noahs running around. Other names for the boys on the list. Anybody have a guess? Anybody want to take a shot at other names?
Colin.
Not on the list that they have given me, but you remember how we've gone through these lists before, and it all depends on who put it together.
Ethan?
That's a good one.
There's a lot of Ethans.
Yeah, Ethan is on the list. Yep. I'll tell you, for boys, the list included Oliver, William, Elijah, James, Benjamin, Lucas, Mason, and Ethan. And for the baby girls, I thought when we named Sophie, I thought that there weren't that many Sophies around. There are now many Sophies around. So for baby girls, Ava, one of Sophie's best friends, and Sophia. And people say to me, is her name Sophia or is it Sophie? Well, her name is Sophia, but we call her Sophie, or I call her Soph, or Sophila. I call her a lot of things, but Sophie. There's Isabella. That's a pretty name. Isabella. And you have to say it that way. You can't say Isabella. You have to go Isabella.
Right.
And Charlotte. That name's been around a long time, don't you think? Amelia. Mia. Harper. That's kind of cool. People keep thinking you're a road, though. And Evelyn made up the top 10 for the girls. Evelyn.
Wow, that's an
That's
older
an old
name, which has broken into the
Well, if your baby
into the list of names,
if your baby girl is born with gray hair,
right,
you immediately say, "Forget it. We're not calling her."
So
I love the name Evelyn.
So my two nieces didn't make the list.
What
And
are
they
their
are
names?
Olive and Ayla.
Oh, Ayla. Have not heard of Ayla.
Ayla, I've never heard of. Olive, the only olive I can think of right away, besides the obvious olive oil, we're like this.
You and olive oil?
Me and olive oil. Is Olive, who is a producer of the television program Sunday mornings. If Kim were sitting right there, she'd yell it out to me. But the show that is hosted.
CBS.
No, it's a
Pauley.
local show. Jane Pauley's CBS Sunday Morning is a great show. In fact, somebody came out and said it was maybe one of the best shows, if not the best show on television. It really is extremely good. It's just for CBS even, it's an astoundingly good show because they don't, they're like third in the news, I think. But that CBS Sunday Morning show that used to be Charles Carroll, still very, very good. Jane Pauley now hosting. But I'm thinking of Devin Skillion's show on Sunday called Flashpoint.
Okay.
Flashpoint. And Olive, poor Olive, always sends me a message. Hey, we're taping the show Thursday night at 8. Can you come and be on the show? And I always go, no, I can't. I want to. I love doing it, but I can't. Oh, Flashpoint. Yeah, I got it. Yeah. I love the delay on the on our social media channels. Anyway, dentists are seeing an uptick in cracked teeth during this pandemic.
I saw that story.
Why would that be, do you think, Dave, if you've seen that and given it some
because
thought?
people they were saying that people have a lot of stress and they're grinding their teeth more at night, so they're cracking them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I thought maybe they're just eating more popcorn.
That's what I thought.
No,
too.
it wasn't cavities. It was like cracked teeth because of the people grinding because they're so stressed out.
Oh man.
Some theorize the added stress and anxiety leading to more people grinding their teeth, just as Dave has pointed out. It's called bruxism, and many of us have either known people or have even been given little tooth guards or mouth guards to use at night so you don't grind your teeth, because you can do a lot of damage grinding your teeth.
Great news for the crown business.
Yes, you're right. 14 minutes after 6, we've got it. Our WJR Traffic and Weather first, and the one and only Dana Clark.
This report is sponsored by Fresh Time Market.
It's no surprise that healthy living begins with what we eat. Stop by Fresh Time Market for large red, green, or black seedless grapes, 99 cents a pound. Now through September 15th, you can trust Fresh Time to bring you real food at real affordable prices.
Accident-free right now on the roadways, just looking at about a 30-minute delay. This is for trucks only across the Blue Water Bridge westbound between Canada and the U.S. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel.
Bit of fog and cloud in this morning, but we'll stay dry, cloudy into the afternoon with some limited sunshine, 69. Clouds with some partial clearing later tonight, 54. Suburbs, a lot cooler. Partial clouds tomorrow with a high cool 70 degrees, and now looks like no rain through the weekend. From the Weather Channel, meteorologist Ray Stagik on News Talk 760 WJR.
In women's health. If you or someone you know is struggling with infertility, we can help with offices in Warren, Lake Orion, and our new satellite offices in Plymouth